Good morning, East Africa, and welcome to YoungFrica, your television show continent showcasing discussions and interviews on youth-related issues. I am still Ridwan, and this is CBA. Okay, welcome back. It's YoungFrica, your television show continent, where we showcase an amazing personality in the studio discussing a very, very pressing issue here on CBA. Ladies and gentlemen, I know you must have been anticipating who exactly is my guest this time around. And I am super excited to inform you that this person this time is one of those people doing stunts all over Somaliland. Not just Somaliland, interestingly. This is somebody who has traveled far and wide, consulting for different firms and changing lives. Ladies and gentlemen, today I have the privilege and honor to introduce to you Mohammed Rashid. Mohammed Rashid is a social activist. He is a co-founder. He is also a co-editor of the Voice of Social Worker magazine. Mohammed Rashid is one of those people who is really doing amazing things around, and he has deemed it fit to be here with me live and direct to us to discuss about the place of mentorship in human capacity development. Rashid, you're welcome. Say good morning to viewers at home, and let's get started.
Good morning to you all, and to Ridwan as well.
Good morning. Good morning so much. Abdul Rashid, I haven't read about your profile. You are a consultant. You are an editor. You are a social worker. You have collaborated in different places. Like, that speaks volume of who you are. And this is exactly why I want to really have you on stage. Do a talk to us about mentorship. Let me ask you, just give us a brief about yourself, please.
Basically, thank you very much, Ridwan, for the opportunity to talk to you and talk to the youth in Africa. My name is Mohammed Rashid again, and I live in Hargeisa, Somaliland, and also have bachelor's degree in social work from the University of Hargeisa. I am currently doing my master's online in international cooperation and humanitarian aid at Calu Institute in Spain.
Wow.
I have several diplomas, and I currently work as a social protection and peace building consultant.
Oh wow, that's amazing. I think I need to take you from there. What is life like as a consultant, especially for social protection and public peace building?
Basically, this is being a social protection and peace building consultant it's not an easy task.
Oh.
It needs collaboration and it needs employment of your expertise in social protection, which is different sectors, whether it is employment, youth empowerment, migration, and all of these things, and at the same time working solving conflicts. And since Somaliland has a very conflict-driven neighbor, Somalia, where I utilize my peace building expertise to make sure that conflict resolution is achieved.
I really want to be a peace builder too. Now, what exactly do you enjoy so much about your work? Like, what is that thing, like, anytime, any day, you're always excited about your work?
Basically, when doing these different, I should say, conflicting issues, because social protection, peace building comes before social protection, and I think the most important thing that I enjoy most for my work is being a team player. Teamwork is a very central element for my work at all different levels. So working with different people, from different nationalities, collaborating with local communities, all of these things are rely on the ability and the power of teamwork. So teamwork is my area of.
It's one thing you really
yes.
do enjoy.
Yeah.
I can see, obviously. It means you must be a very busy person. What does a typical day looks like for you?
Basically, it usually starts with setting the daily schedule for the daily schedule for that, and which usually moves from the day before, where very busy work and very important and urgent events are there, and then I usually make sure that I continue from there and usually fight against the next day in order to make sure that goals, weekly and daily goals are delivered. So yes,
I think that's a whole lot, I know, and I know you must be very, very busy. I can see that.
Yeah.
Now, Abdul Rashid, at any point in time in your life, today we want to talk about mentorship. I want to see how mentorship could be devised to build nations, to build capacity, to help the youths know exactly where they're going to. Like, we've seen so many things about youths losing focus, getting distracted, not knowing what next thing to do at their point of life, especially when it comes to career. Now, you personally, have you ever at a point in time had a mentor? And who is this person, if at all?
I should say I'm the first student is receiving mentorship in this nation, this great nation. Basically, mentorship is not very familiar here, but I had the opportunity to have Ahmed Noor Musa to be my mentor.
Wow, thumbs up to him, man.
Yes.
I celebrate him.
Yeah, to be my mentor while I was expecting to work with communities, and he was there helping me to build me to social work faculty, where he later became the head of the social sciences and humanities, where social work was part of that college. And also thanks to him for usually facilitating my first intern at South Children's Village.
Oh, wow.
Where he had usually this ability in my life. And
that is sweet. That is like milk.
Him, yes.
Oh, sweet. Okay, now let me ask you, what is one thing you would always remember him for? Like, anytime, any day. What is that one thing?
Motivation, I should say, is the one thing that he always provides as a mentor. And self-motivation is also the bigger lesson out of motivation, because he always encourages us to motivate ourselves to usually face challenges and make difference in communities' lives. So motivation is the only one thing I can say he was the.
So he was there pumping it, giving you energy. You can do it. Go, do it, do this. Yeah, I think we celebrate mentors all around the world for putting so many of us in track, especially in our career development. We celebrate our mentors. Now, we want to talk about the place of mentorship in building capacities. Mohammed Rashid, let's start from the definition itself. Like, what exactly is mentorship to you? And who is a mentor? Like, who can we say is a mentor?
Basically, mentorship can have many different definitions according to different societies and communities. But to me, mentorship is a process where less skilled and experienced person is helped and supported by a person with vast experience and who has potential achievements in life. I think I should say this is what mentorship is meant.
So mentorship means it's the marriage between a less skilled person and somebody who is more skilled, or say somebody who is unestablished and somebody who is established. Oh, wow. So it means, now, do you agree that mentorship facilitates this sort of advanced friendship in people? Like, you are more skilled, I am less skilled, I am your mentee, you are my mentor. Do you agree that when we do mentorship, when we practice it, there is this kind of synergy wherein I become your friend automatically through mentorship?
Basically, it depends on the distance of and strength of the relationship between the mentee and the mentor. And I should say it advances to role modeling.
Yeah.
And Ahmed Noor is not only my mentor, but he advanced to be my role model, where he
so there is a connection now. There is a connection between mentorship, or say a mentor, and a role model.
And a role model.
Oh.
And
would you like to differentiate between those two things? Like, who is the mentor properly and who is a role model properly?
Basically, there are two different levels. I should say being a mentor is a lower level,
okay,
according to a role model. And role model is someone who achieved his desire in life and his goal in life. But mentor is still on the path to his fulfillment of his goal. So Hamnoor is now advanced to his next level of
so according to you, he was your mentor.
He was my mentor.
Now
at the same time, he's my role model.
Your role model. Wow,
yes.
That's so beautiful.
Yes.
Thank you so much for helping us to differentiate exactly what mentor is and who role model is. So viewers, I believe we are connecting with what Mohammed Rashid is saying now. So we have who a mentor is. We have another person called a role model. A mentor, according to Rashid, is that person who trains you to do things, who tells you what next to do. But that role model is that person you look forward to, you want to become like, oh wow, that's sweet. Now, okay, I am less skilled. I don't know anything in the field, and you are an expert. I want to be mentored by you. What is the process? Do we have any process at all? If at all, what is maybe the first significant process in mentorship? I would be interested.
Mentoring process needs to follow three different paths. And the first three, yes, the first path is teaching.
Okay.
Where I have to teach you the core skills that you need to be
like a sort of training.
Sort of training.
Okay.
And then this training helps you to usually narrow the gaps that you have with the different skills that you want to.
So Hamel taught you something. He trained you on something.
Yes, he was there training us on writing and usually coming up with innovative ideas, working with different communities. And thanks to him, that due to this lesson, that I later became the co-founder of the Voice of Social Workers magazine.
Wow! Congratulations.
Which we are expecting to publish its third edition
of the magazine.
March.
Wow!
This year.
Congratulations.
And later we worked with different communities, and it was because of his teachings, his usually his support.
Like his support around training you on a particular field.
And it was not only there, but he also managed it closely. He managed us. So under his management, we have to work through different difficulties, and then he was there helping us to do this.
Is that still part of training or another aspect of mentorship now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it is. Yes, it's managing.
Okay.
Management is also another piece of mentorship.
Mentorship, okay.
And we could not do anything with the communities and with the social work students unless without his management. So under his management, he was there, not relying us on continuing with community activities, but he was also there helping us to correct our mistakes. And at the same time, he was there also to supervise our tasks and activities. So he was always there following up on us and activities we are doing, including the production of that magazine, how to collect different articles, where to go, who to go
meet,
to, and then from there. So teaching, managing, and supervising are the three core processes of mentorship that you may need to usually to be.
I think our viewers need to retweet that. For mentorship to be completed, those three blocks must be intact. The teaching phase, the management phase, and the supervision phase. Oh wow, thank you, Mohammed. Okay, a very good question I would love to ask now is, so if I am under you to be mentored, when exactly would I know that yes, at this point in time, I have been mentored? Or is it a lifelong process or something?
Basically, in order to test that you are on the right track of utilizing mentorship resources, another three different resources are needed.
Okay.
Or steps. The first step is that you learn something.
Okay.
And as I said before, when I was explaining mentorship processes, your mentor is teaching you to do or to improve some skills that you are in need of them. So you have to make sure that you learn something from your mentor. And thanks to Ahmed Noor for his motivation that usually helping me go through different challenges and help different communities despite their confronting challenge.
So exactly when will I say I have been mentored? When is that time that I will be able to say yes, Ridwan has been mentored by Mohammed Rashid?
Yes, is the time when you learn something.
When I learn something new
in your life.
Okay.
And the next step is when you practice that thing.
So learning, I need to practice.
And practice. So you learn something, you make sure that this works, you put that in action, and then it goes from there. And the next stage or the last stage is when you test that thing, or when you share that what you learn with different people.
Wow,
so now you are becoming a new mentor, where you are going to share the new skills learned with your mentees, with your future mentees.
Oh wow, so now for mentorship to happen, we have to do a very interesting thing wherein we learn something, we'll practice it, and we at the end also teach it back to people. Oh, so it means that at the end of my mentorship program, I should be able to also pick up on the mentorship chain, wherein I am giving it out to other people so that they could benefit as my own new mentees going on the chain. Oh, thank you so much. Now, you said you have undergone this process, mentorship. Now, tell me some benefits personally to you that you derived from the process of mentorship.
Mentorship, I should say there are 5 benefits which I gained from Ahmed Noor and other mentors later on. And the first benefit is mentorship is a source of advice, where you usually receive a good advice from your mentor, and then use that for your daily and monthly or annual plans. And then the next benefit is it is a source of networking. So your mentor is not there only to leave you. He's not always there to rely on him, on his abilities, on his advice, but he's also there to connect you to different networks which will help you independently learn something and move on. And the third benefit I should mention is it is a relationship building platform, where you will have mentors closely building close relationships with you, and then that usually is sometimes turned into role modeling and friendships, and it goes from there. The fourth benefit is of mentorship is it's a pool. It is a source of career opportunities, and and the fifth benefit is a source of skills and knowledge improvement, where your mentor is an expert in a different field of knowledge, and then he will help you develop that field if you are doing the similar.
Thank you very much, Mohammed Rashid. You have been able to tell us today about the processes involved when it comes to talking about mentorship. You've also been able to tell us today that before we could say mentorship could be achieved, we must have learned something, we must practice it, and we must be able to share that same knowledge. Yes, I am back again. I want to be mentored. I want to be mentored the second time now. So if I want to be mentored, how do I go about looking for a mentor? Like, what is it? How do I pick you as a mentor? How do I pick somebody as a mentor, really?
Before you look for your mentor, it is better to know that find your area of development. So you have a problem, you have academic challenge, and then you need an academic mentor, who helps you to usually move forward and solve your problems. And it depends on your area of development. So if you have difficulties in finding jobs, then you need a career mentor who will help you find more career opportunities and will work with you in order to find that. So it depends on your area of development. And nowadays we have different mentors in our societies, but we don't know the ability of mentorship and the power of the of mentorship. So unless we know the power of mentorship, then we can find the appropriate mentor for us, and then we can work closely with that person and move on.
I think most problems of youth out there is they are too concerned about monetary gains, and because of this, many of them fall out when it comes to applying to be mentored, applying for an internship. Many are always money focused. If it is not bringing money directly, they're not ready to put themselves down to see how that goes. And I think that is exactly why I was asking to know, if I want to be mentored, what are those things that I need to do? How do I go about selecting a particular mentor? And you have been able to tell me that it depends on exactly what I want to do. If it is an academic mentor, career mentor, then I need to focus my strength to know exactly who is it. Yes. Now, Mohammed Rashid, it's been wonderful having you here. Now, I want you now to give us like a general advice. Give all the youth out there that advice that you want to give them. Tell them something about mentorship. Give them advice, tell them stories about your life, how mentorship has really helped you, till you instrumented itself to becoming a positive thing to your own personal life. Like, advise the youths.
I would advise basically the youth to know their abilities, or know their area of development, as I said before. Unless they don't know the area of development, the area of where they need to be empowered, then they will not know the abilities of mentorship. So networking is also another important advice which will help you, because as you grow up in life, you need to utilize the resources of others and networks. So you need to work with different people, different communities, and make sure that these different people and networks are positively influencing your career goals and your academic ones as well. So try to know your strength, and then make sure that you find the right mentor wherever you are in your life, or in your academic or professional life.
Try to find your mentor after identifying your strengths. That is the message from Mohammed Rashid today. Ladies and gentlemen, we have been able to look at the case study of mentorship, its particular place in career and capacity development. And in the studio today was a good session with Mohammed Rashid. And you know, I feel so much excited because of some of those particular things that he had been pointed, talking about the process, talking about what is needed for you to look out for in a mentor, and exactly what are those magnanimous benefits of undergoing mentorship. This is where we're going to be saying goodbye, and until next week when we come your way again, this is YoungFrica, your show, our show. Goodbye.